All right, guys, welcome back to the next part of our training. So in this particular part of our training, we're going to be doing what we call a no power bypass. And we do a no power bypass when we get a reading or a diagnosis of no power, right? No power meaning when we press our button to turn it on, we get nothing. So the first thing we want to check when we get a no power reading is the board health. All right, so as you can see, the LCD is removed, and what we're going to do is what we call a no power bypass. All right, so a no power bypass consists of using a power supply that you can see set at 3.8. That power supply is then connected to this particular boost cable, which we're going to connect to our board directly. All right, so if you look at the board, we're going to connect it right to this board. We're going to unplug our power dock and our battery, and we're going to plug this boost cable up where those parts are unplugged. We're going to also plug in this right here, which is the LCD. This is a golden sample LCD. Golden sample meaning that the LCD is a good LCD. We know it to be a good LCD. So we're going to go ahead and connect that so we can obviously see the results once we try to boost this board. We want to see if it's powering on properly, right? And there's two things we're going to be looking at when we do that. We're going to be looking at the screen, which is the LCD obviously, and we're going to be looking at the amps on our power supply. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and plug in our boost cable, right? Again, this is going to be connected to the battery and also the power dock, right? So there's two things that are connected to this device right now as we speak: the LCD and the boost cable. The LCD, so we can see the readout of the display, and also the boost cable, so we can boost with our 3.8 volts from our power supply right into our board. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn on the device. You can see the power button is on, it's lit up. You can also see the amps on the power supply have gone up a little bit just to show that it is communicating. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to press this yellow button. This yellow button is actually our boost button. So that's our power on switch, right? And once we power this on, what we should see is two things. We should see the amps on the power supply, and we should possibly also see the LCD power on if the board is good, right? And that's what we're testing. So we're going to go ahead and press the yellow button. You can see we get a little bit of movement, but it didn't take. And so you might need to do this 1, 2, maybe even 3 times, all right? And press it a little bit longer. So we're going to press again. I'm going to hold it a little bit longer, right? And you can see it's starting to try to boot. You can see the needle on the amps. You can also see the apple on the screen. And so what that's telling you is that the board is actually functioning properly. Now it may loop. That's fine, and it's probably looping because it's not fully connected with all of the components, and that's fine. What we're trying to do here is really just understand if our board is actually trying to boot or going through the boot sequence process and showing properly on the LCD. And we do that by looking at both the LCD and the needle at the amps, right, on the power supply. And so that is what this test is. This is what we call a power bypass boost test, right? And again, we're just testing the health of the board. And if it's good, we're going to go down at the bottom, click good, it passed, and then we're going to do what it says at the bottom, which is we're going to now possibly replace our dock, our power switch, or either our battery in this particular part of the process. All right, if you guys have any questions, please let us know, and if not, we'll see you guys in the next part of the training.